Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. What if the coldest heart is simply the one that's been hurt the most? And what if the person who sees through that wall is someone no one expected? Today, we dive into one of the most talked about, emotionally charged stories in Chinese entertainment, the silent bond between Wang Yibo and Dilraba Dilmurat. But wait, where does Xiao Zhan come in? Why does Yibo keep his heart hidden? And who, if anyone, holds the key? Stay with us, because what we uncovered might just redefine everything you thought you knew. Wang Yibo is a name that echoes through the entertainment world. His talents, achievements, and striking presence have made him a global icon. Yet behind the dazzling lights, behind the fame that so many chase, lies a truth few ever see. Wang Yibo isn't just mysterious by design. He is distant by necessity. The wall around his heart wasn't built overnight, and it wasn't built for show. It was constructed over years, brick by silent brick, as a defense against a world that often forgets how deeply artists can feel. In a world where vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, Yibo has learned to protect his silence like a treasure. His quiet nature isn't emptiness. It is a form of strength. It's a choice to observe rather than perform, to feel rather than pretend. Those close to him say he rarely speaks about himself, even in private. And when he does, it's with honesty so raw that it leaves others unsure how to respond. His words are measured, not because he has nothing to say, but because he knows how much it costs to reveal your heart. There are whispers in the industry of a past relationship that changed him. Not one that made headlines, but one that cut quietly and deeply. Since then, he has carried within him a cautious hope, a yearning for a connection that will not shatter under the weight of the spotlight. He is not afraid of love, but afraid of being loved for the wrong reasons. When people see only the fame, the fortune, and the flawless image, they miss the most human parts of him. And those are the parts he longs to share, if only with someone who sees past the surface. Wang Yibo doesn't seek perfection in others. He seeks sincerity. Someone who listens not just to his words, but to his silence. Someone who understands that a man who stands alone on purpose is often the one with the deepest capacity to love. Behind that wall is not an empty heart, but one waiting for someone brave enough to reach it without breaking it. Dilraba Dilmurat is often seen as the embodiment of elegance, confidence, and success. A woman who seemingly has everything. Yet in a quiet moment during an interview, she let down her guard and offered a glimpse of something more vulnerable, something more real. With a playful smile, she said, "I don't lack money. I lack a boyfriend." The audience laughed and the interview moved on. But for those who were listening closely, there was something in her tone. Something that didn't feel like a joke. Beneath the humor was a quiet ache, a soft truth that even the brightest stars can feel the weight of loneliness. What made the moment more poignant was how effortlessly she transitioned into speaking about the challenges of finding real love in a world of illusion. For someone like Dilraba, beautiful, successful, and constantly in the public eye, genuine affection can often feel like a myth. She spoke of the desire not just for companionship, but for understanding. Not for someone to admire her, but for someone to know her. That distinction, though subtle, speaks volumes. And when she mentioned that she admires men who are quiet, emotionally intelligent, and somewhat guarded, many couldn't help but think of Wang Yibo. Their personalities, on the surface, may seem different. One warm and lively, the other cold and distant. But beneath those images are two people who, in their own ways, carry the same longing, to be seen beyond their masks. Dilraba's words did more than amuse her audience. They opened a door to the question of whether someone like her could truly connect with someone like Yibo. And perhaps, unknowingly or not, she was speaking directly to him. Love, in its truest form, often finds its way through moments like this, quiet, unassuming, almost accidental. It lingers in confessions disguised as jokes, in passing words that echo long after they're spoken. What Dilraba revealed was not just her sense of humor, but her heart. And perhaps, just perhaps, It was an invitation waiting to be heard by someone who understands silence better than anyone else. In the quiet space between what is seen and what is felt, there exists a name that lingers whenever Wang Yibo's emotional life is brought into focus: Xiao Zhan. The bond between them has always defied definition. It is not loud or performative, but layered with an intimacy that feels almost sacred. Their connection has been observed through countless moments. A glance that lingers too long, a silence that feels too full, a smile that seems meant for only one person. Though neither of them has ever confirmed anything beyond friendship, the depth of their interactions speaks volumes in ways words never could. Xiao Zhan represents something rare in Yibo's world: familiarity without pressure, warmth without intrusion. He doesn't demand explanations or declarations. He simply exists beside Yibo, with a quiet presence that feels grounding. One backstage moment, long forgotten by most, captured Xiao Zhan gently adjusting Yibo's microphone, brushing off dust from his jacket. It was small, unremarkable to some, but for those who understand how Yibo guards himself, it was everything. A gesture of care that asked for nothing in return. What sets this connection apart is its sincerity. It's not about romantic speculation or feeding public fantasies. It's about the emotional safety that Xiao Zhan seems to offer Yibo in a world where trust is rare. When Yibo is around him, he appears a little softer, a little less guarded. And that subtle change says more than any headline ever could. Xiao Zhan becomes the mirror Yibo rarely allows himself to face. One that reflects not only who he is but who he could be, if he let his walls down. There is no need to define what they are. In fact, to do so might diminish it. Sometimes, the most meaningful relationships are the ones we never fully understand from the outside. What matters is the calm that exists in the storm, the silence that feels safe. In the world of fame and scrutiny, where every move is dissected, perhaps this bond survives because it has never tried to prove itself. It simply is. And in its quiet existence, it reveals just how deeply two souls can recognize each other, without needing to speak at all. One crew member on a recent film set said this about Yibo: he never asked for attention. He just sat quietly, reading, sketching motorcycles, sometimes alone even during lunch breaks. But it's not sadness, the stillness. Wang Yibo isn't looking for someone to complete him. He's looking for someone who can stand with him in the silence, not needing to speak, not needing to prove. And this idea, it resonates across borders, in the US, in South Korea, in Japan, everywhere where people have once felt too much, too deeply to express it aloud. What we can learn from this story: this isn't just celebrity gossip. This is a reminder that behind every perfect face is a person. That behind every guarded smile might be a soul hoping someone sees past the walls. Whether it's Reba, Xiao Zhan, or someone we've never met, maybe Wang Yibo isn't waiting for a fairy tale. Maybe he's just waiting for someone real. And maybe, so are you. If the story touched you, if you've ever felt like Yibo, guarded, patient, misunderstood, or if you've ever been like Reba, strong on the outside, soft underneath, then you're not alone. Love isn't loud. It's quiet, persistent, and brave. And maybe, just maybe, behind every wall, there's a heart waiting to be found. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another emotional, honest, and powerful celebrity story. Speech balloon, tell us in the comments. Do you think Dilraba truly sees Wang Yibo's heart? Or is there another name we haven't spoken yet? Thank you for watching. This is your channel for stories that go beyond the fame, straight into the soul. See you in the next one. Dizzy.